The humble hot hatch, many things to many people. For some, it's a B-road blaster that just happens to be able to carry a weekly shop. For others, it's a child transporter with a thank God they're out of the car pedal. Until comparatively recently, your hot hatch was petrol powered because you can get away with a small rev-happy engine in a lightweight hatchback. Nowadays though, your hot hatch doubles as your range topper, so it's got to have absolutely everything in there. Big, comfy, nice seats, nav, connectivity in every sense of the word, more means of listening to breakfast radio than are strictly necessary, and of course heated things that aren't necessarily usually heated. Now the original Golf GTI, the Mac Daddy of hot hatches, the original, it weighed nothing and its engine had a little over 100 horsepower, not much at all. But because it weighed nothing, it just flew, maybe a little better than it should do. Whereas our Ford, because it has to have everything in it, it has the nav, the DAB radio, the comfy seats, the heated wheel, well, it has to be a bit different. I mean, the Golf GTI didn't have good brakes. This has to have good brakes and tough suspension because all the extra stuff, it has to feel like a little sports car. But because everyone wants the choice to have everything, and because people want to choose how they have their hot hatch and how they have their range-topping car, this has what would be traditionally described as an unhot hatchish engine in it. It's a diesel, a Ford Focus ST diesel, no sniggering at the back, please. Its 2-litre engine produces 182 brake horsepower and a mammoth 295 pound-foot. It'll hit 62 from rest in 8.3 seconds and its top speed is 135 miles an hour. Allegedly, thanks to its new engine, it'll do nearly 70 English MPGs on the combined cycle as well. So then, our Ford, with its diesel engine, even though it's got all the speed and all the power, is it a hot hatch? Well, there are pros and cons to that, really, because the diesel doesn't sound very revvy, it doesn't sound very peppy, it's not too meaty. It sounds like a large 2-litre diesel engine because it is a large 2-litre diesel engine. But with the trade-off in noise, you get economy. So we do great mileage in it, which means you can drive it quite quickly, but for quite a long way. You wouldn't get that in the petrol. The petrol, of course, is quieter, sounds a bit nicer. And the petrol's a bit more instant. This doesn't have as much power on offer, but it has so much torque, and you do feel it. Red lines at 5,000-ish RPM or what have you, but you can keep it in, say, 3rd gear, and at 40 miles an hour, put your foot down, and you start to fly, because you get all of the turbo torque, and it feels fantastic. And one thing that Ford does especially well is cars that handle very, very well indeed. So you can throw this thing into corners and it'll grip and grip and grip and grip and grip. And if you're in the right place, you might even get a little bit of oversteer with a little bit of lift-off shenanigans, which means it's really fun. It's got all the parts of being a great hot hatch. And if the only thing people are saying, well, it's not a proper hot hatch, is because of its engine, wait till you drive it, because this thing can fly. This thing can fly with the best of them. No, it won't be as quick around a circuit as a petrol-powered Focus ST. But when you're on the road, you buy power, but you actually drive the torque. And the torque is what makes this thing. When it's just me and this, and a road, in a private moment, away from cameras and away from, work, and I'm having a little bit of an Alex time, it still puts a smile on my face, in a way that only a hot hatch can. So yes, you can have a diesel hot hatch. No, it's not a compromise. It's just a bit different. You know how your mum used to make that dish you really liked, and how you never thought it was possible to make it better in any way at all, and then you meet someone who puts a slight twist on it that doesn't make it better or worse, just as good? Well, that.